Okay, so let's start. Is it visible, Anisha? Okay. Let's start with what is cascading style sheets. CSS stands for cascading style sheets. It is used for obviously the designing purposes, because although HTML has some of its own designing attributes, we still need CSS to design it and have some independencies, because sometimes we can get jumbled in the HTML course as well. So it's a very powerful tool for you designing our web pages and everything we do as well. So CSS has also different versions. With time, it has updated. It presently it has three versions: CSS 1, 2, and 3. And CSS helps us to design the font properties, typeface, emphasis, color of the text, backgrounds, other elements as well. So it also helps us with the positioning and all. We'll be seeing some positioning things like the float and clear, and we will be also discussing a little bit about positioning with static, what is static positioning, what is relative, and what is absolute. So with as every programming languages, CSS has some advantages, like it has a separate content from presentation, and we can apply it in three ways: in an internal style, in an external style, and an inline style. I will show that in a while. The CSS syntax is made up of 5 parts actually: selector, property value, declaration block, curly braces. No need to mug up these things. We will be just directly using this, and you are going to understand it just fine. The only thing we need to remember is like this, that whatever we have to edit or style something, we will use the selector. The selector can be like what we discussed in HTML, like one H1 or P, which stands for paragraph, or HR, horizontal row, like that. Or we can give our custom name to what we want to select. For that, we are going to use divs, spans, IDs, etc. For this session, I will be mainly working with the divs and spans only, and we will try to have our grip only on one of them. And this is how we are going to edit something using CSS. We just have a selector. We will declare what property we want to edit, and then what editing we want. Like color, we have hashtag 333. I will tell what is hashtag 333. Then font size, extra large. We can do all those editings. Okay. So let's come back to where I left the last time. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's see. What are the different styles from which you can apply CSS? Let's say I have a body, okay, and I want to have a CSS property, like I just want to change its background color. So I can just directly, where that in the body part, in the same line within the brackets itself, I can just mention style equals, and within the double quotes, I want to mention the property which I am going to do, because all CSS format wants property and then what editing we want to do. So let's say background color, and this background color as well. And let's say we want a brown background. Let's hit save, and when I refresh it, it has a brown background. The same we can do as well by using another thing which is called internal CSS. So let's see how is it done. For internal CSS, it's very easy. We have to do the same thing, but instead of having it in the body or in the same line, we will have things in the head. In head part, we will create another section called style, which will define that we are going to style things. And then we will just use, let's say I want to style the body thing. So let me write body, have curly braces, and let me decide what I have to do. Let's say background color. Let's go with blue this time. Save, and when we reload it, changes to blue. Similarly, I have another H1 thing. I can edit the H1 right from here, or I can use the internal CSS to edit H1. Let's say H1 curly braces color. Let's go with what color is it? It's black. So let's go something other than black. Let's say yellow. Let's save and then reload the things. So the text has become yellow now. So these are the first two ways in which we can apply CSS to a project. We will see external CSS throughout our project, so don't worry about the external CSS part and how we can apply it. And another thing, let's discuss a property, how we can position things using HTML and CSS. And I will also introduce you how we can define our own selectors using the div. For that, I will be using the code pen, and the pros of using this site code pen is we can on the real time we can very easily do our testing thing. Let's say I want to have HTML code body, and in that I want to have, this is what I am going to do. I will use the div keyword. Div means a division or a particular box, you can say a particular box. Div creates a box for every element. So whatever we are going to do in this session, we will visualize everything as a box, and for that particular box we are going to change its properties and style each and every box. For example, let's say I'm searching something like neat code. So what actually happens is this: in front of us, all of these are there, but on the back end, I would like to introduce you to the extension called pesticide. This will show how is it done. So see, each and everything is a box, and in those boxes there are more little boxes. So how are these boxes created? These boxes are created using div keyword only. So whatever we will do a similar concept. We will create a bigger box for elements, and then each element will have a sub box, a smaller box, and in that smaller box we will, like, let's see, we have this small box. So this small box we will have a text. That text will have the color purple. So we will do a very similar thing to that. I suggest everyone have this extension called pesticide, because if in future you are going to clone some website, or you are going to build some website from your own, this will help you to visualize what website are you going to create and how it's being created. It will help you to visualize the boxes. Okay. Let's go back to code pen. See, let me create a box. Uh, Yeah, pesticide for the extension name is pesticide for Chrome only. Thank you, Anisha. Okay, let's create div class equal to, and naming the class as red. I will make it red after that, and yes, I will be using this style of mentioning things. Like, I will create a class, and that class name will be what I want to do with the styling part only. That will help us later on when we will be using a bulk amount of code. So naming each thing about what we are going to do with it will help us a lot. This will also prevent confusions. Okay, so ending closing as okay. Let's say we have one red, one green, and one blue. Okay. Till now, you can't see anything because there is nothing we have created till now. We have just created three objects or three boxes. There is actually three boxes on the screen, but we just can't see it because we haven't defined how it looks. So let's define how it looks. So this is also a way you can. This is the way you are going to actually implement the external CSS. We are going to have a separate HTML file, and we are going to have an separate CSS file, and we will integrate both of them. Okay. So let's start. Uh, for accessing our class, just use dot the class name or the div class. And same, we are going to use the curly brackets. And then let me mention some of the things which will help us to visualize what are we going to do. I am mentioning the height, let's say it for 100 pixels, width also 100 pixels. Uh, okay, and most important, the color. See, we have our first box ready because now we have defined how it looks. I would try the same thing with all of them. Give me a minute. Let's say next I have green. Now green, and for the next blue one, mention blue. Okay, so now we have three boxes. Okay, so for now the boxes are all static. Static in the sense, however we have coded this, the compiler has just placed it like that only. It first reads about the red block. That's why the red block is on first. It first then reads about the green block. For the green is on the second, and then it reads about the blue block. That's why the blue block is on the third. But let's say we have a lot of blocks, so and we are quite we have a task to arrange it in certain orders. So do we have to change the codes according to what we want or something, or we can have something which will help us to help them position. So to tackle this problem, we have a property, obviously, which will be called position. Position. Let's say, let me do this position relative for now. So the position is now relative. Don't see changes anything right now, but wait. The position is relative now. So now, after mentioning the position is relative, I can see relative to what I can change its position. Let's say right. I will change its position towards right side. I want it to go towards this side, right side. And I will mention, you can mention by any rule. Let's say I want it to be 30 pixel towards right. Uh, so it went 30 pixels towards right side. So after mentioning that our position is relative, what it does is, what we will give instruction to position our element accordingly, it will relatively see to our external borders. So let me see, left 30 pixels. So it has moved 30 pixel from the left border. Let's say for green, I want position to be relative as well. And this one I want to be away from the left margin by 60 pixels. So see, move 60 pixels from the left margin. So this is what a small thing we know about what is relative positioning. Now let's work on uh, absolute positioning. Let me- So what did exactly happen? See, when we use relative positioning, the block was having some space in the screen. But now when we made it absolute, so the positioning of the block is now free of everything on the screen. Like if we had some text on it, the box could have been overlapping on it. It is free from everything. Now we have the freedom to do anything with it. So let's say I want it. See, so that's a very subtle difference between absolute and relative positioning. That relative positioning is from like the property. When we will define it, it will be like, let's say for the case of green, left 60 pixels. So it is from left 60 pixels. And same with the absolute positioning, it is like from right margin 20 pixel from this margin. So these are the only things we have to know if we want to have some positioning. We have to do any positioning of any object in the project. Okay, so let's come back. Now we will start the thing which we wanted to, say, file. Creating a file. That file would be portfolio. I would be also opening the folder where it is located. This will help me like if, okay. So this will help me like if I have some images and all, it will help me to easily get integrated to it. Okay, so before getting to start making portfolio, I would also like you to know process of designing a web page. So this is a site, and it will help us to design things. I have this thing in my mind that in my portfolio, uh, I am having a basic layout of the portfolio. I'm not creating the entire thing like how it is going to look. It will help me to do things in a very organized way. Let's say I have a web page, and I just want to have this upper part where I would be displaying my name, and this side a navigation bar, this time a photo of mine or something, and this time introduction or name or something about like any quote or something which I say regularly, and here a part of my social media handles. And then I will be creating another part where there will be another photo of me, and there here I will write something about me as well. And the best part about creating a layout for like this is that you can visualize the boxes like this. Like, see, I have to create a box like this. Within the box I have to create a small box and another small box which will be placed parallelly to it. So it sounds complicated, but trust me, you are going to love it. So let's start with our basic HTML code. Mm, 5. Let's let the title of the document be portfolio. Okay. And let's say I will be also creating a CSS file. File. Yes. I will be naming it portfolio dot css because it's going to be that only. Okay. And I will be splitting the screen because this will help me coding all the things simultaneously. Let's keep this part aside. Okay. So let's say in future we are going to integrate that thing only. So very easily we will use link href style sheet. Style sheet will refer to this part only, CSS part, and uh, href will give we will give the location of the file. So the location of the file is into the CSS folder slash name of the file, which is portfolio dot CSS. This will enable us to import all the styling things which we are going to do here. Okay. Okay. So let's start body. I had this vision to create a menu section. I will be also commenting out things which will help you to understand things. So I am going to create a basic menu section. This one only. This one I am going to call menu section. And basically it's a mini panel, right? So I will the class name I will give it mini panel. Let's say I have div and class equals main panel, let's say. And within the class we will containing subclasses. Let's say division container. Within this thing I will be putting something. So I want here my name in a logo format, right? And so for that, I am again going to make, I said now, because this is a bigger box, in that we will be creating small boxes. So let's say equals, and I also said that I will be naming the class name which I am going to do, uh, like what I am going to style it. So I have a vision that I will have its width as 33. Will we have a logo kind of thing? So I will also like to continue what Chirag Jain taught you last time. We will be creating same a John Wick portfolio. So for that, uh, let me say his full name, Jonathan, and I would be using another sub type of selectors known as span. Span will help me in doing small things. It is same as div only, but it is a smaller version of div. Like div contains multi-line statements. Span you can use for single line statement, designing single line statements, or just a particular part of the context only. So for here, I'm doing it for a particular word only. I will be giving span color, like span color. Here I will define a color in the CSS file, which is going to be the color of the word Wick. Okay. So Jonathan Wick. So okay, okay. So after that, I will create another class, and I will name this class as width 66. This will have a width of 66 when I will create it in the CSS file. And here I told you that here I want a small navigation bar like this. So in HTML, to create a navigation bar, we have this nav keyword. So you can use nav keyword, and we will have anchor tags. This anchor tags, like say I have something home, portfolio, or some any other word, it will lead up to that thing. So for now, I will just have anchor tag something blank. It won't lead to anywhere, but it's better if we just have the format in it, if we have the provision in it, so that we can change it later when time comes. Okay, and I am again using span, and I am again using uh, class name as anchor. So the thing is, I am using the same name again and again because whatever color I am going to give this word wick, the same color I want here to whatever word I am going to place here. Let's say here the home button. I want the home button a little highlighted from every other thing in the navigation bar. Okay. So after that anchor tag, I will again have another anchor tag. Let's say shift. Again, we will be using nothing, just using different what we are going to do in the navigation bar. Let's copy this to save little time. Hmm. I guess this will be enough about me. Let's change it to education. Let's change this one to my services. Let's change this one to, let's say, portfolio only. Folio. Let's change this one to testimonials. And here, okay, so basically our menu section is complete. Let's start designing simultaneously. So for the menu section, let's say I want to have, let's start with having a universal cascading style sheet. So I'm first creating a universal style sheet. So if I miss to style something at, or I will just miss anything, this will cover me up. And this is going to apply for the entire web page. So I am going to set the box sizing as border box, and margin, which we learned last time, as 0, and padding as 0. Padding 0 as well. Sorry for my mistake. Okay. And it would be better if we also define the font family here as well. The font family, let's say we can use sans serif or Franklin or Gill Sans, whatever the Arial. You have a lot of options there. I have a font family in my mind, which is Roboto, and sans serif also we can do serif, and also have Arial. And let me create another tag, uh, HTML comma body. This tag will affect the HTML elements as well as whatever there is in body. So let's say font size first. Uh, let's let it be 14 pixels only, not much. And font weight as, everyone must be wondering what is this font weight about. So font weight gives us the degree of darkness we want in our font. Okay, so let's say our font weight be 400. Some error, I guess. Okay, I think I missed this. Next, go to the background. And as it is a John Wick themed portfolio, so the most appropriate background will be black. Okay. At that time, I told you that I will also told you what does hashtag FFF and those all mean. So basically, uh, now I wrote black here. The color can be defined in a different way. Like black is can also be defined as a hexadecimal code, which would be hashtag 0000000. So it will also give me the same black color. Okay, and the general color I want it to be. Let's keep it simple. Let's say white. And what did I have here? Let me see what classes I had. I had one container and weight 33, weight 66. So I will do basically that only. I will create class One is container. Okay, so before going to container, let me tell you certain things. If you are using something which is already there in the HTML, something like HTML or the body, which is a default thing in HTML, you don't need to use .html or .body. You can directly use body to specify what you are going to edit and then curly brackets. But if you are made a class with div, so to access that particular class, we use dot class name. Okay, I guess that would be the most simplest explanation why I used a dot container here. So for the container, I would like width property as pixel, margin. I will also set right now. Let's say 0 pixel auto. It will help me to keep things centralized only. And I want to display in a tabular format. Let's say display as table. Okay. Now come to the width. This one width logo. So let me see. Okay, I will do the width logo part later. Let's deal with width 33, which I might use later. So I told you now what I am going to do. I have written that only width 33 means I am going to make it width as 33% and float left. So what is this float keyword is actually going to do? This is a very interesting keyword. I'd like to show. So if I am going to do float right, so whatever image I will have, it will be on the right side of whatever the text I am going to place there. Similarly, okay, and float left is also going to do the same for the left side. Okay. Uh, for now, we are making a static website. If the time continues, I will also make it dynamic in just 10 minutes only. It won't take much time. We will be using Bootstrap for it. If I don't cover Bootstrap in this class, in the next class, I will take hardly 15 minutes to make this entire web page as dynamic, so that it will have a dynamic layout, and we will be also introduced to the concept of frameworks and how it is used and how we can use frameworks to do better things. Okay. So next we are going to do width uh, 66, and many of you have guessed what I'm going to do. I'm going to do width property as 66% and same as float left. Now let me come to the menu section now. Now I will start what I am going to do with the menu section. Okay, let me here give uh, first the menu section, we have this class as main panel. Let's first style the main panel. So for main panel, I'm going to have width as 100%. It might feel boring right now, but trust me, the product is going to be very good at the end. So left, then adding. Also, I will mention here adding top. Let's say for 20 pixel, and I will also have to like padding bottom. Padding bottom. Let's say 20 pixel. Or let's do one thing. Let's have a greater padding on the bottom side. Let it be 50 pixel. We have a greater padding, like we'll have something from the top. From top we have a little space, from bottom we have a bigger space. And then uh, let's have the logo. I will have logo. I just wanted color, right? So let me just mention the color. I wanted a yellow, and I have something in my mind. I have the hexadecimal code of that yellow. It's FFB F35, and I will also style. We have the nav property as well, right? Uh, for nav, I'm not using the dot one because it's a default HTML thing. For nav, I want it to be floating towards the right side, because in the fundamental thing which I draw, this navigation bar is on the right side. That's why I made the float on the right. And let's say we have another one, nav a, and for that I don't want the text to be decorated. I don't even want the different uh, default decoration, so I will have as none. And font size is as, let's say, 16 pixels, and font weight as 500, little more than what we previously had. And I also would like to have margin from this one, right? That's why I will also refer to have a margin left. And for the margin left, let it be 20 pixels. And say color will be, make it simple, white only. Let's save and let's see how fundamentally our website looks. Okay. Okay, so we have Jonathan Wick as yellow, and we have this nav bar, and as we have defined earlier, the entire background is black. So yeah, I guess our codes are working fine for now. The CSS has also been integrated well, or else it wouldn't have been displayed. Okay. So for now, I will be now having a banner. or a photo, which I said earlier. Like I had this in my mind. I'm going to have a photo on the right side, then something about me, and have my social media handles as well. So let's say this will be my main banner. This will help me where my code I have to, if I had to debug anything in my code, this will help me to do so. So my in my main banner, I'm going to have same, and for sake of saving time, I will name the class same as container so that the same style is applied to this one as well. Container. Within the class, I will create another class, and I have a vision that I will have its width as 50. Class name I will rename as width. Okay. So for now, let's say we have another class as well. This class will be the banner selection section. For this banner section, I will be having uh, span. Here I am going to use span to have a very little thing about what I am going to do, and it's a class equals the same one which I had this name. Let me see the name again. I had the class name as column 6 or something. Okay, let me see here as well. I guess I left the column 6 class somewhere. Let me make it now only. Sorry, the dash. Which present is there. Yeah, sorry. Let's say color same as this one. And for logo, let me have a change. For logo, let me have font size as 40 pixels and font weight as 600. Let's see how that works out. We'll just go back to the site. Okay, now it's looking good. The home is also now yellow color. It was white earlier, and it is looking like a logo now. And this part is yellow color because we had this wick part as something else. Yeah, span color. So for the same here only, where was I? Okay, section. Here also I will name it. I also want it to be the yellow color as well. I will name it as span color only. And let's say I want to write here, welcome to the continental stop. Hello. Yeah. So after this span, I just want to have the classic Baba Yaga name as well because I had this vision. And give me a minute. I'm having some disturbances as well. Just give me a minute. Am I audible, everyone? Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Let's say I had welcome to the continental right here, and after that I want like Baba, and again I want that Baba Yaga. We know it was his full name. So within the H1 tag only, I just want to have that Yaga as yellow color. So we'll create a span, in span name. I will same give the class is equals to and well, so that it will have the yellow color. And within the span, I will write Yaga. So let's see what we have now. So, see, we have this welcome to the continental thing in yellow color and the Baba Yaga thing. The Baba is white color and Yaga is yellow color because we had Baba here and Yaga in the span section, and this has span color, and we had mentioned the span color is yellow color. Okay, what can we do more? I told you that I will also write something about myself. So as John Wick, I will be writing a quotation if I want. I am someone who is sent to kill the boogeyman. Okay, that's it. Let's see whether it's coming or not. Okay, yeah, it works just fine only. For now, the H2 part is looking quite bigger, but we will just style it a little later. Okay, so let's come back to the main banner. So now I am going to introduce my social media handles. For but when we think of social media handles as well, so we also think of uh, the logos, right? So how can we import logos in HTML or CSS? We don't have any particular thing for HTML or CSS. So for that, I would like to introduce everyone with this website known as Font Awesome. And here you can have any icons and something. Let's see, we have Instagram icon. So some are paid and some are free, we can use this website. And I am going to use an alternate version of this website. It is the primary version 4.7.0. And how are going to introduce font awesome is, when we see the way we have introduced as style sheet, we will also use the same way to introduce the font awesome website. And the font awesome, the basic good thing about font awesome is it's with bootstrap framework. So if you will write font awesome 4.70 cdn, you will get the code from which you can just get started. Where is the code? Let me see. Okay. Here also they have this code as href something at the beginning. We are going to use the same code. Let me have it in the notepad. Okay. And just below the style sheet, I would have this font or something, and this will help me to integrate all those things. Like had a vision of having my social media handles and their icons here. So okay, let's go back. Okay, let me introduce an anchor tag. Let it be an empty anchor tag. That's why I'm using hash. And okay, I'm using anchor tag for everything. Here you can have your social media links or something, anything. This will help me. Like, let's see, I have I have an Instagram icon here. So when I click on the Instagram icon, it will directly lead to your personal ID or account. So your account ID must be here in the anchor tag. So for now, let me have a Facebook logo. Okay. So we have this beautiful Facebook logo right here. And the good thing about this website is you can have animations as well, like this thing or this thing. It will give you the code to include the animations as well. For now, I'm having no animation, and I want a color which is similar to this one, or the one which I used in my portfolio thing. Let me have it here only. We'll do one thing to get the exact color. To have the exact color, I will go to the color section. Okay, wait. I must have it on one side. Uh, it's not okay. I have it on one side and this on the other side. Let's have this particular. Let's have this color. And I want this particular color to be here. So this is my target color. And now I just have to take the code, copy it, paste it right under here. Let's see whether we have successfully introduced the thing or not. Portfolio thing. There has been some issue with the logo. Okay, let me see what issue is there. Okay, if a brands, if a Facebook, I can let's say go to FF Facebook, and instead of having style, I will use my custom style later. For now, let's have this only. I will introduce my custom styling later. Let's see, I had prepared the rest of them as well. So basically, my vision is I will have a Facebook account handle, a Twitter account handle, a LinkedIn and Instagram, and a GitHub account handle as well. Okay, okay. So basically, I have created this kind of part in the code section, but I still have this picture to go. So let me have a picture there as well. Let's come out of the div. Uh, which div it was? It's pretty confusing. Let's see, any section. Okay, width 50, width 50. Okay. Outside of this div, let me have div of the same name. Uh, that's equal to, and here I'm going to have the image. You all know how to enter the image. Image source is equals to, I have this images. I want this particular image to be there of John Wick. So for integrating this image, I will first go to the file name is C images slash, and the name of the file is John JPG. Mm. Yeah, I guess we are done with the code for that particular section. But now we will just have the CSS element ready. Okay, guys, have little patience here. Okay, so let's start with the documentation part. So I had this class I remember as width 50. Mm. And you must have guessed what I am going to do. The width will be percent, and I had this vision that this will be on the right side. So I will use again the float keyword. Sorry, float right, to have it on the right side. Then I had a banner section, I remember. Banner section, I want font size to be, let's say, no, let's say we will not have font size right now. Let's have width, that's 100%. This will define the width of my banner. So whatever the original thing in the image is, it will retain that much amount of width. And let's say load left, and let's say have margin as well. Want the margin to be from the top as let's say 25 ph. Say what do we have now? See, we got the poster banner some part, and we also have these social media handles as well. Okay, we have a little more css to go for the banner section. We also had some h1 h2 elements, so to define to have that thing only, we can also do another thing, another way of selecting things. I want the banner sections h1 things to get modified. So for the banner section h1, let's say font size as 48 pixels, and margin top, sorry, margin top as in pixels. Okay, I missed something. And font weight, of, of course. Font weight, let it be 400. And save. Let's say we also had another thing known as h2. For h2, we have the font size, font weight as well. Uh, let's have something different. Let's say I want h2 a little more smaller. That will be 20 pixel. Uh, the margin top, let it be same only. Font weight also same. Let's say I want it a little more smaller. I will also affect the line height as well. Line height, let it be, let's say 25 pixel. That would be enough. Let's hit a save. Let's see what changes have been done. See, this has changed a little. Okay. Okay. And let's say for the anchor tags, the thing is, these are not looking too well. So let's design this part also, and this part we have mentioned it in the anchor tags. So to select the anchor tags, we will use same method. Let's say banner sections A. A means anchor tag. So I will be editing all the anchor tags at the same time within the banner section. So I want all to be on the right. Then let's have text decoration. That will be none. Then font size as 18 pixels, and let's have a margin as well on the top. Let's say margin top be 20 pixels. And let's say border radius. The border radius, what we will do uh, is it will create something. Wait, let me show you. So we are going to create something like, yeah, something like this or something like this. So the border radius will give us the curvature which we want. Okay, border radius as 50%. uh, and let's have text alignment as well. Let it be center. The center will look good only. Whatever we will do, center will looks good only. It's a border. Let's have a border. Border, let's have it 2 pixels, and I want it to be solid. You can also mention other styles of border as well, and let me also mention the color as well. You can directly mention the color for the border, and I want that bright yellow color to be here. And then let's have the color of the context. Want those to be yellow as well. And then margin left, left. Let it be 10 pixels. It will be enough. Let's have their heights. Let the height be 70 pixel. No, 70 would be like lot more. Let them have 50 pixel. Let have them a width of some pixels as well. Let it be 50. It will be symmetrical only. It will look good. And let's have line height as well. Line height will be let's say 50. Let's have everything same. It will look symmetrical and it will look good. So when we go back to our website, and okay, okay, later I will move all of these to this side. It has it's on the right, I guess, for now. Let's say, I guess, it's, okay. If I will change the float to left, it will come to left only. See, okay, I have a message here. Yeah, yeah, everyone, if you have any queries or if the session is going little fast or any slow, you can also give suggestions right here right now. Okay, this what did we have there? I guess I had an extra circle there. Facebook. uh, we also got an extra circle here. I will remove them at last. For now, the basic layout which I wanted, a banner and some part of me and some of my handles, this part is clear. Even now, if I will use pesticide, I can see how the boxes were created. See, the entire thing is in a single box. Then comes these smaller boxes. This is a separate box because I have used that box to make it yellow. This is a separate box, and these all are separate entities. And this banner is a separate entity in it as well. For same as the nav bar, the entire thing is a single box, and there are sub boxes in the nav bar as well. These boxes are results of the multiple divs which you have created. So no need to learn each and every selector. Just get acquainted with the div and span as well, and I guess you will be able to make your own projects as well. Okay. So now I had a vision of this section. I will use another poster to be here, and I will write something about me as John Wick. Let's implement that. Let's have. Okay, so create a new menu section. Then uh, what should I name this section? Let's name it About Me section. That will be better. Or okay, we actually have a less time here, so we will implement these things in a very similar way. And let me introduce another thing which we should implement in our portfolio as well, is the skill section. So that's actually a tricky part to do. Let's directly implement the skill section. I will also prepare the about me section, and I will have a look of you as well, that how it looks. But for now, let's skip to the skill section. So for the skill section, uh, I am going to represent the skills in two different ways. One, I will try to have some statistics, like let me show you. One way of creating skills is like, let's say I have a skill here, let's say my driving skill. Okay, wrong. It's driving. Okay, and I'm just filling some part of that. I'm filling some part of the what do we say, of this bar. I'm just filling some part of this bar. And I have another method as well. We have something as a circular. I will create another circle within the circle. So whatever I have, like let's say I have 100% proficiency, so the external region of the smaller circle will be filled according to that only. So I will be helping you to go implement this too. Okay, I will show some example of using the horizontal one as well, and also the um, circular one as well. And the circular one is actually pretty easy. The tricky part is to implement how to use implement the horizontal one. So let's start. Okay, this class equal to main section. And within the main section I will also have div class equals container, and within the container I will be creating another thing. Let me have something as header h2, and I will also edit it later. So let's have the class name. We can also give class name to the default HTML syntax as well. So for the h2, let's say heading text, and heading text I have to show my skills, right? So within the my skills, yeah, uh, let's say what I will have next. Let's say I have a div, and it will obey the same as width. Okay, okay. Sorry, my mistake. Class equal to width 50. Let's say it has width 50 as well, and within that, I'll create another div, and for div, this div, let's have this div as class, like this class name as skill. So basically, like that, we I'm going to use another command which is known as the bold letters to have something as like this firearms. See if I have the code ready for now. Already do have the code ready for this part only. Let's say instead of firearms, let me write martial arts. So for after the martial arts, I want span because I'm going to do a very particular thing. Style. Let's say I want it to be a width of 95%. Uh, I will do that same thing in the CSS file later. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Can we have a little more 10 minutes because people join a little late as well? Okay. Okay. So, uh, where, where was I? Martial arts. Okay, let's have and we have 25%. Let's use inline CSS a little to accelerate our progress. Okay. I'm using 95%. Okay. Let's see how it has. Does that have any HTML content right now? Okay. The thing is that uh, our code has been executed successfully, but we haven't defined how it is going to look. So let me first have this part of code already here. So I will be having another thing known as firearms or some other skills like battle IQ or tactical driving or with anything like that. And all of them will be shown over here. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. Remove it. Within the same class. Remove vspan div for vspan div. Okay. for that, I am going to create subsequent HTML code. Let's say, so basically, let me just copy paste certain things because we have less time. I will explain all the codes as well. Okay. So the about a section, I had integrated one part with the main section as well here. Okay. So the main section has the same attributes as well. I have given the same attribute, and whatever the width I had given earlier. So for width 50, I have given width 50 or width 100 as well. And I have also given some images as well. And this will help me to show the things. Let me show you another thing. Okay. So this is what we were trying to create. Okay. The horizontal bars and all. So after completing the uh, HTML file and this CSS, we are going to have something like this, the horizontal one. And to make the circular one, it is actually quite easy. I'm going to introduce you the area progress bar of MDN Web Docs. And let me show the code of this as well. I will explain the code, that would be better. Okay. So for area progress bar, this is the entire code which is available there. Here we have to just define what is the maximum value of the circular thing. Let's say we are defining it in percentage, not in degrees. So I have 100% as the maximum, 0% as the minimum. Okay, like total value I want have a range of 100, minimum value of 100 and a maximum value of 100. And here in style equal to value equal to 65, this is the amount of percentage which is going to be filled up. So let's see, for Gunfu it is 65% filled, the deep yellow one, and the rest is empty. Same goes with the other ones as well. uh, Value now, here I have given the value now as 85, the current value, which has a minimum value of 0, maximum value of 100, 85 as well. So it has 85% filled, and that's the thing. The value now will give what is the current value. Let it change it. Let me change it to 65 as well. So this is 65, 85, something 75, I guess. So whatever value you want to have or how much you want to fill by percentage, you can mention it here in the value now, and also when you are going to the giving to the style sheet. And yeah, after the properties, you can mention what skills are you going to show. So for now here, gunfu, infiltration, escapology, and theory. And at last, what I have did, uh, I have used a CSS version. Let me show you the CSS version. Okay, this is the progress bar for CSS progress bar. These are the percentage, which will receive the percentage, and you will fill the circular thing. Okay, And for the circular part, I have used a tabular form to have these in table, and then I have later styled making each and every boxes. And for all boxes, I have used the light gray color. You can see as well in the CSS part. This one, it is not light gray exactly. It's another version of black, which is hashtag 2626. uh, to have a very different shade from the background black color. And each of them I have made a box, and I have used the table row and table data thing you can use as well, or you can use tables in CSS as well to have this in tabular format and have it side by side. And I have used a very similar concept. I have used the same concept for creating my service part as well. So in my service, I have used the table things and all, and I am also introduced that MD font awesome thing here as well to have these fonts or the icons, assassination protection. All of these are available for free on the uh, font awesome site. So yeah, here I have integrated the font awesome list. And lastly, for the footer part, I just had a small class only, and I have mentioned here you can mention at the rate copyright. You can't have copyright for this page and all. Any other thing, it will appear like this at the end, very end, like this only. And I have used CSS to show it them in the gray color. That's why That's why all of these, the icons and the writing is shown in gray color as well. So our fundamental is how to use maximum of the CSS codes. And there are lot of CSS codes actually. The best way to learn about CSS code is go to the CSS documentation. You can just easily, like, want to know about selectors or any combinators or any pseudo classes. Okay, you can also know about animations, what animations you can use using the CSS. You can use the CSS flexbox and flow layout. Okay, the grid systems as well to make the tabular forms as well, to make these kind of things as well. So to make the tabular form, you can either use CSS tables or the HTML tables, which Chirag has taught, the horizontal row, horizontal data, okay, table data, table row, TRTD, to make all these things. And these are actually very simple to make. And if I use pesticide, you will be able to know what I have exactly done. You see, I have made a bigger box or a bigger div, you can say, and I have created small divs in that. This entire is a big div. Here, Harvard University is in a small div. This one is in a small div, and this one is in a small div. And I have done it for each and every element. And once you are able to do for these both two, after that, it is just game of copy and pasting the code and just editing your code. And that's it, guys. Thank you. Uh, I hope I was able to clear a lot about CSS. And in today's class, I wasn't able to make the page static. But in the very next class, I will take hardly 15 minutes to make this page dynamic. And what I mean by dynamic page is, for now, if I am viewing through my computer, this page is same. So if I will like view it from any other device, let's say I want to view it from my phone or something, so it won't shrink. It will be like this only, and on the phone it will be annoying. So like it will not shrink according to my phone size, and it will make it difficult for me to view things. So Our aim in the next class is making the website dynamic. Let me show you an example. So if I will shrink this one, see, this thing is shrinking according to the size of the screen, unlike the previous one. It has bigger, it will shrink automatically. And this we can do very easily by using the bootstrap. See, the previous site, it was unable to shrink. So yeah, that's all for today's guys, and thank you.